What's good, y'all? Welcome back to yet another one. So, if y'all did watch my last one, I made a story about how I did 5 different yall tabs at school and how I ended up. So, if that's something you're interested, you go back and watch that one. This one's going to be on the same, more or less, concept, I guess. But this one's going to be about Xanax. So, if y'all haven't done Xanax, or I really don't recommend doing them, especially nowadays, because it's all cut with like fentanyl and some bullshit, and you're gonna die if you know, pretty much. But back in the day, I used to live in kind of like a trap. Well, not kind of. It was a trap house. It was a 2-bedroom apartment with eight motherfuckers in it, something like that. And then bringing people always stayed there, crashed out, passed out from the night before, and all that bullshit. So if you've never done Xanax, there's kind of like a tipping point, right? So you go 1 bar in, you're all relaxed, you're cool, just hanging out, vibing. 2 bars in, you getting a little up there, a little bit more out of it. You kind of body don't want to move. You just, kind of getting all pretty high. And once you get that 3-4 mark, you just go full fucking retard, full fucking retard. It's something. It's something to see. That's what at least normal people do. Me and my buddies, I'll just call him Gary. I'll call him Gary for this video, at least. Gary and I were what a lot of people would call fiends. So like most people would if they wake up and take Xans or do Xans back then, obviously you just pop it like a pill, like how you're supposed to. Me and Gary would chop that bitch up and snort him like a line of coke because we were just fucking extra. So that morning, I don't know, for some reason, we just woke up off of ecstasy pills the night before. We ended up smoking like an ounce of weed that night and, 6-7 X pills, which is, pretty fucking retarded too in itself. I mean, that's pretty deadly. But that, we woke up the next morning and we were like, you know what? We had such a long night of just uppers. Let's do some downers. So we're like, all right, yeah, let's do some Xans. So we had like a little stash and probably about 16, 18 something pills or whatever. And those were the pills we had were always called Hulks. So it was like the 3 or 4 bars, little green Xan pills, right? So we woke up and we're like, fuck it, we're just gonna do these all day. So we ended up just crushing up fucking 2-3 pills for breakfast. Like, we didn't really eat much, but we snorted some shit and not felt hungry after, I'll tell you what. So we just went ahead and snorted, 2-3 fucking pills. And then that's the point when it all hits you at once. Whenever you start snorting shit, it goes straight to your fucking brain and makes you go instantly retarded. So after we did our breakfast, one of our buddies who actually owned the house, I just call him Greg, Gary and Greg. So Greg was like, hey, I had to go re-up on some shrooms, and you guys want to come roll with? And we're like, yeah, we'll roll with. And for some reason, me and Gary had the bright idea to bring a longboard, because we were like, we're gonna go cruise around a longboard while Greg goes and makes the deal. So we show up to this guy's house, and me and Gary in the backseat just chopping up a little more breakfast, chopping up some breakfast. And we ended up doing like 2-3 more pills. So altogether, at this point, we're probably 5-6 pills in deep or whatever each. Which that's like the point. Well, you basically just black out. You don't know what the fuck you're doing half the time. So we just went out so Greg went in to the house, made the deal, and was kind of chopping it up with him. And so me and Gary just went ahead and got on a longboard. So I just cruised around this dude's fucking neighborhood. It's usually when you do drug deals, you don't want to be fucking, noticeable, obviously, because you don't want to get caught. But, we did that many Xans, you feel like you're on top of the fucking world and you're not scared of anything, right? So we just went ahead and started cruising on his longboard, having a good old time. Just past his house, past the first stop sign, we noticed to the right of us, there's this fucking giant hill. We're like, shit, that looks fun. So we just went ahead and started bombing that hill. We just go down all the way as fast as we could. Neither of us are very good at riding longboards either. Especially at this point, neither of us are very good at it. I guess whenever you're on Xans, you're not really good at anything, to be fair. But we were just bombing this hill. And then, we probably did it both, 1 or 2 times at this point. And then we got all the way back up the hill. And that's when the Xans were really starting to kick in, and we're like, fuck it, let's chop up one more breakfast item, So we went ahead and just popped another one, and then that's kind of when I knew, hey, we should probably stop doing this. This is pretty fucking stupid, right? But we did the other one. And Gary was like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm not gonna do this one more time. I'm gonna go back to the car, kind of hang out, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go down this hill just one more time, and I'll come back up and meet you, right? So Gary went back to the car. I got on a longboard after taking my third breakfast, I guess you can say. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna bomb this hill. I'm gonna go as fast as I can. I thought it'd be fun. So I started cruising. And I just started leaning forward and bombing this hill. So whenever you look, there's probably about halfway down this hill, there's a 4-way intersection. Like most fucking neighborhoods, there's 4-way intersections. So whenever I got pretty close, I'll say 30 feet away from this intersection, I saw this guy, and he was in this little piece of shit Jetta. And I know he saw me. We made eye contact, and I was bombing this fucking hill. And he kind of looked at me. I looked at him. I swear to God, he just waited for me. And then he just fucking pulled out as fast as he could. And I just hit the back of that fucking car. I hit the back of that car so goddamn hard. And I ended up flipping over and denting the shit out of the rear quarter panel of the Jetta. And all he did was just roll down the window, goes, tss. Hey, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. He goes, okay, and just drove off. He just fucking drove off. Like, he didn't give a shit. Now this, I thought, maybe I could have broken an arm, leg, concussion, whatever. But I was on so many fucking Xans at this point that I didn't feel anything. When you start doing that much stuff, you just feel on top of the fucking world, So yeah, I ended up walking back up, all the way up the hill, walking back to the car where Gary's at, and Greg is coming out of the guy's house at that point. I just have torn up shirt, pants, my knees are bleeding, my arms all scraped up, and they're like, what the fuck happened to you? And I was like, I hit a car. And they're like, what? I was like, I was riding a longboard and I hit a car. And they're like, what the fuck, Dave? And at this point, that's pretty common thing for me. I was always doing stupid shit and never end up getting seriously hurt about anything. So they just you go to a doctor, and I was like, nah, I'm cool. He goes, you want another Xan? I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Ended up just fucking taking another one after they loaded me up in the car. The longboard was pretty fucked up. What the wheels are on called trucks. That truck was just bent and torn. Yeah, I fucked up that longboard and fucked up myself too. I guess YouTube's gonna get pissed off at me for cussing so much, huh? But yeah, whatever. But yeah, basically after that, I just went home or back to a little trap house and just wanted to hang out for a little bit. I took a hot ass shower, got all the fucking gravel and shit, little rocks out of my cuts on my knees and my arms and all that stuff. And I finally get out of the shower, just got all cleaned up. I was starting to sober up a little bit at this point. And they're like, All right, then you go to a doctor. You still good? I was like, yeah, I'm cool. You know, it's whatever. I just fucking feel like shit right now. And he goes, here you go. And he just gave me a fucking X pill and said, you know, have some fun, I guess. You know, you won't feel nothing when you take that shit. So yeah, we ended up just doing that. Obviously, I don't condone doing Xanax or any other illegal. Well, I guess Xanax are technically legal if you're prescribed them and all that stuff, but don't overdo anything like that. Like, you know, anything at all. You know, smoke weed if you're gonna smoke weed. I guess I don't smoke weed or anything anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it'd be a quick little story that was kind of fun to just to mention. I guess, you know, it's something that's just kind of entertaining. And even if no one watches it, it's kind of like a little video diary of some of my older stories. So, anyways, for y'all who do watch it, hope y'all enjoyed the little short story. Thank y'all for watching and have a good one.